Hey guys, it's Nina, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my Bookcon experience. I feel like good mythical morning right now, let's talk about that. So Bookcon was last week, it was amazing, and I took lots of footage and it was lots of fun, but I didn't really vlog during any of it. Like, I have lots of videos of stuff that happened, but I didn't talk during any of it, so that's what we're gonna do right now. So I'm basically just gonna run through all the really great things that happened at Bookcon, my experience, kind of like a haul showing you different swag and stuff that I got. And yeah, let's start with day one. Day one, the first thing that I did was actually meet up with some fellow YouTubers. The first was Steve over at the Lawn Gnome and also Alyssa over at Pucks and Paperbacks. These are two people who I was planning to meet at some point during that day but happened to stumble into anyway, and that was really great. Steve is just a very chatty person, always awesome to hang out with, and Alyssa is someone who I've known for years on here, so it was very cool to meet her in person. And I didn't get footage or any vloggy bits of me meeting either of these two people, but I'm pretty sure I'm in Alyssa's vlog, so that's cool. Links to both of their channels down below. But I actually did spend most of Bookcon by myself, which sounds very sad, but it was fine because it's mainly sitting at panels and waiting in lines. And speaking of sitting in lines, there were a lot of lines, oh my god. But the two authors that I got to see on Saturday were Leigh Bardugo and Marissa Meyer, and that was so great because those are two of my favorite authors of all time. Six of Crows and The Lunar Chronicles are two of my favorite series ever. I will say waiting in line sucks so much. Like, sitting there for an hour or two waiting to get a signature from your favorite author, but it's so worth it just to have those few minutes or even that 1 minute with your favorite author and get it signed and get a picture. Also, on a side note, since we're talking about authors, I walked by V.E. Schwab and it was so cool. I was like, that girl's hair looks just like V.E. Schwab's, and then she turned around and it was her, and it was so cool. But besides autographs and like walking around the show floor, there were also panels, and I did a decently good job of going to those panels, especially on the first day. The first of which was called Diversifying Love, and it was all about diversity in romance novels, which was really cool because I don't read romance books. But it was so interesting to hear these authors talk about their genre, and they really sold me on it, and now I kind of want to read more romance, which is strange. But I don't know, like, it was just so cool to have that opportunity to go to a panel and hear about things that I wouldn't normally go to. And I think that's one of the great things about Bookcon and going to these events, honestly. And then the other two panels that I went to were right up my alley. One was magic and world building in YA books, and the people on the panel were like Marissa Meyer, Laini Taylor. But that was a really great panel, you know, hearing all these awesome YA authors talk about magic systems was really great. But right after that panel in the same room was the Booksplosion panel with Kat, Jessie, and Christine, and that was so great. I was only sitting like 4 or 5 rows back, and it was just so cool seeing these people in person because I have been following at least Christine's channel for the past 4 years, and I'll talk about this more later because I'm still in awe. But that was a really great panel, and that was the last thing that I went to on day one, so that was just a really great way to like end the day on a complete high note, see some of my idols, and it was just so great. So now I'm going to go on to talking about day 2, and then when I'm done with that, I'll go through all the like physical stuff that I got at Bookcon. I feel like that's a good way to organize this. I don't know, that's what we're gonna go with. So basically the first thing that happened on Sunday was actually a booktube panel, which I had to miss, which I was kind of disappointed by, but it was worth it. And that panel had like Sasha Alsberg, Toshopoulos, Emma Books, and a couple other people, and I really wanted to go to that, but it was worth missing because right after was the Booksplosion meet and greet, and I got to meet the Booksplosion crew, and I'm still like in awe that this happened. I think I only waited online for an hour and a half or maybe 2 hours, and every minute of it, again, was boring but completely worth it. And I just, like, again, I've been watching Christine's channel for 4 years now. I've been booktubing for 3. And I also love Kat and Jessie a lot and have been following their channels for quite some time. But Christine is like the first booktuber that I ever saw. So getting the chance to meet those 3, and especially her, was just amazing. And so once it was my turn, like, I got to go up, I picked out a card and I got them all to sign it, and one of the staff members was like taking pictures of me as I was doing that, and some of them are kind of priceless. Like, basically she tried to get pictures of me hugging them. The first one, she completely missed me and Christine hugging, and it looks like we're just pulling away from a kiss, which is really weird, but like, I'm kind of okay with it. Then there's a nice one of me hugging Jessie, but the one after it, if you look at my face, it's more like, oh my god, I just touched Jessie, what is this? Like, it's a face of complete shock and like, oh my god, what is my life right now? And then there's a very cute picture of me hugging Kat, and then some boring ones of me just standing there talking to them about shadow hunters. And then of course we have the picture that I'm probably going to print out and like frame on my wall and save forever and ever, and it's this one, and it's me with the Booksplosion crew. And I just, like, literally after this happened, like, I did a pretty good job of like maintaining my chill and not being a complete fangirl in front of them, but afterwards I was like shaking for like a solid half hour. I just can't describe, because it's like, these people have completely changed my life. Booktube has completely changed my life, and it's just like, I don't know how to express that to them, and it's just like, they get this all the time, but it's like, they really have completely changed my life, and I got to meet them, and I have a signed card from all of them, and I actually have footage that I took like right after of like this card, and it's complete shaky cam, like no chill whatsoever. But yeah, this is definitely gonna get framed and put somewhere, because this is now one of my most prized possessions. And then moving on, right after I met Booksplosion, I went straight to the autographing lines, and I got in line to meet Scott Westerfeld, which was very cool because he, again, is like one of the first authors that I really liked as like a younger kid, I guess. Like, I still remember reading Uglies in like the 5th grade, and I have only read that book once, and I still vividly remember a lot of it, and I like told him all that, and it was just so cool to meet him because I don't follow him as an author, but like his books have impacted me so much. And then right after that I got to meet Marie Lu, which was cool in other ways because she's an author who I like follow on Twitter and am more involved with as like an adult, and that was also, she was so nice and that was so cool, and it was amazing. And then I got to meet up with another person that I know, and that's Gretchen from Chic Nerd Reads. I've mentioned her before, but she used to be a booktuber, and now she's stopped doing booktube, but she still writes blog posts. And it was really great to meet Gretchen because she lives in New York City, I live in New Jersey, but we've never gotten like met up for some stupid reason. We only had a few minutes to talk, but it was so nice because I, again, have known Gretchen for years, and she is one of the people who like made me feel at home on booktube and like made me keep going, and she's just an incredible person. So that was really cool to meet her in person, and yeah. And then the last thing that I did on day 2 was go to an interview / panel focus on Kristen Ritter, who's the actress who plays Jessica Jones in Jessica Jones, and I am obsessed with Jessica Jones. But basically she is coming out with a new book that she wrote herself and was like promoting it and talking about it, and it was so cool to hear her talk because she's amazing. I low-key love her, and it was really cool to hear her talking about Jessica Jones and how involved she was in it, and like, I love her. And her book, which is coming out in the fall, is a thriller and it's supposed to be really scary and gruesome, and I'm like here for it. I'm so ready. I'm so excited because she's just an amazing person, and hearing her talk about it made me very excited for it. You can see why they do this convention. It's amazing for marketing. And now, if you aren't bored yet and this video hasn't gone on 20 minutes already, let's go through some of the stuff that I got at Bookcon, because I actually didn't get as much as I thought I would, because you see all these people with hauls and they've got so many arcs and it's so incredible, but I think I got 1 or 2 arcs this entire weekend, and part of that was me, because there were setups where you could get like a Warcross arc, or there was one Lee Bardugo, the Wonder Woman book, that had an arc coming up, but you had to wait in, like, there were insane lines for those arcs, and I was not about that life. But then also I was talking to this girl on one of the autographing lines, and she had a suitcase full of books that she got all at Bookcon, and I was just like, I had one at that point. I was like, what? I don't understand. So I think I definitely must have walked by some or missed some, I don't know, but I have a lot of like chapter samplers and like 2 books to show you, but we're still gonna do it. Oh yay. One of the few arcs that I got was Superhero Therapy, which I have no idea what this is. It's kind of in comic, no, it is in comic format? I haven't even, okay. It's like a regular book, but it's got some pictures and some comics in there. And yeah, I have no idea what this really is, but hey, it's an arc and it has to do with superheroes, so I'll read it at some point this summer. And then when I went to the romance panel, at the end they were actually giving out arcs for one of the books that they talked about on the panel, which was really cool. So this is one of my first romance books and I'm excited to read it actually because, again, I don't read much romance, but hearing all these authors talk about their genre makes me really want to pick this up. And the last book that I got is actually not an arc, but the girl who I was talking to in line that had like 20 arcs didn't want it, so she gave it to me, which was really sweet. And that is George by Alex Gino, and this is about a transgender kid and their story, and it was pretty good. I read the entire thing on the bus to DC, which is where I am now. But you gotta wait for my wrap up for my full thoughts on that. In other notable swag, I got some cool Shadowhunter things, which I am all about. So the first thing that I got are some postcards that have the Dark Artifices characters on them, and they're really cool. I really like the art style and just like anything that has Emma and Jules on it, to be honest. And then also at the same place, they were giving out these rune pins, and they're so cute. Like, this pin has already found a home on my backpack and it looks so good. I am kind of in love with it. I also, at the Leigh Bardugo signing, she had different playing cards, and on each of them, they were face down, they had different characters on them, but you didn't see who you got until you picked it up. And I got the Jesper one, which I'm really happy with. I mean, I love all of the characters in Six of Crows, so I'd be happy with any of them, but I really like Jesper. But I kind of feel like if I had picked anyone else, I would be saying the exact same thing. And then Leigh Bardugo also had these cool pins that either said like witch or monster or different things that correspond to different characters. And I chose the one that said monster because it looked really cool, and I'm pretty sure that's the one that corresponds to Kaz. But yeah, that pretty much concludes my haul of this. I know, not many fun, exciting arcs to see, but there were some really cute things that I got. And to be honest, at first I was kind of disappointed with how much stuff I got at Bookcon, but now that I think about it, like this place, like going to Bookcon is more about the experience. It's more about seeing people that you know, hanging out with friends, getting to meet authors, going to panels. And I think when I got there first, I was a little disappointed because I was putting too much value on those like material things. But now looking back, like I am completely satisfied with how the weekend went. I think it would have been more fun if I had went with friends. And next year, if and when I go again, I'm definitely going to want to go with people because I think that would make it a lot more fun because there is so much downtime. So all in all, Bookcon was amazing and a great experience, but it also wasn't 100% fun all of the time. So if you didn't go, or if you're thinking about going in the future, don't set your standards too high. Like, it's not gonna be the best day of your life, but it is gonna be a lot of fun. And I don't know, I'm really glad that I went, and now I know what to do in the future, and it was just really great. So thank you for sticking through this entire video. If you have, go you. I don't even want to know how long this was. But yeah, like this video if you liked it, and let me know down below if you have any thoughts, and subscribe and all that, and I'm all out of order, but whatever. I'll see you guys later with another video soon. Bye!